Hello everyone and welcome back to yet another Schmeat video. Big news is coming out of Twitter right now where Ben Simmons is reportedly interested in the Hornets and vice versa. The Hornets are interested in Ben Simmons. For those who don't know, Ben Simmons and the 76ers have been feuding in discussions over the past few months. They haven't come to a resolution yet this season, and the only possible destination for him is on another team. And the money situation is weird. The personnel situation is weird of who they think they can get in return for Ben Simmons. Everything is weird in the 76ers organization, which is really important because Joel Embiid is having an amazing year. MVP type season so far. Him and Jokic have been the best big man in the league by far this season. So despite all that, for Joel Embiid to go and put up, 30 points per game these last 20 games has been unbelievable. But that's not the reason that we are here for this video. This video is for Ben Simmons and the Hornets. Could the Hornets possibly get Ben Simmons, and what would a trade look like to acquire him? I would assume for the salary situation, since Ben Simmons is making, upwards of $35 million a year right now, we would have to include Gordon Hayward's $30 million a year. We would just have to get the contracts to match, to get everything to make sense. Gordon Hayward would have to be a package in this deal. And for the 76ers to get back Gordon Hayward would be kind of awkward because he's still a great player. But for him to be the centerpiece of a trade for Ben Simmons' caliber, I don't know if they'd like that. What could they get in return? Miles Bridges maybe. I would assume PJ Washington gets, let's say the hypothetical Gordon Hayward. PJ Washington would have to get coupled in with Gordon Hayward and probably a plethora of picks. And for the 76ers, I think that would be a decent return. I think they would like Miles Bridges instead. But what makes it awkward for the 76ers and what makes this article that came out very interesting to me is why the Hornets? Why would, like, the Kings, the trade for James Harden and Ben Simmons make sense, but the Hornets, what can the 76ers get back from the Hornets is my big thing, because they already have Tobias Harris clogging the 3 and possibly the 4 position for them. Do they really need Gordon Hayward or Miles Bridges? I don't really think so. So it'll be interesting what really goes down, if anything goes down, because it seems like the past few videos I made are all just rumors that I found from Twitter. And yes, they're from verified accounts, but what does that really tell you in today's world? Not much. So it's very interesting. And I wanted to point out from the Hornets side of things, say this trade does go down, we trade away, Gordon Hayward, PJ Washington, and a couple of firsts. How would that fit in with LaMelo, and how would Ben Simmons play alongside all our young guys? And I personally, I think for all the shit Ben gets, for all the he can't shoot things that he gets, I think he would be fine. I think he'd be absolutely fine in our system. We need a defensive player because Terry Rozier, Gordon Hayward, PJ Washington's getting a little bit better guarding the 5. But we need a 6'10 player who can guard 1 through 5 and be affected on literally everybody. And that's what Ben Simmons would give our team. Obviously, the price to pay with him is so high. And maybe if we hold out long enough, and if the 76ers, are nearing the trade deadline and they need to make something happen, maybe we can get him for less cheap. But right now, he is very expensive. But I think it would be kind of worth it. You get that defensive guy next to LaMelo. Ben Simmons, how old is he? 25 years old. He is still as young as ever. LaMelo is 21, 22 years old. Let's see here. He's 25 years old. Ben Simmons is 25 years old. So for the next literally 10 years, they would be a dynamic duo. And obviously the shooting situation with Ben is something that is always talked about, something that is always discussed when talking about Ben Simmons, because how can you pay a guy, let's see, a salary is $29 million a year when he can't even shoot a 3. And I would talk about the passing ability. Imagine LaMelo's dishes and Ben's dishes to the centers that we have. Say we pick up Rashard Holmes in a trade as well, but it makes it interesting with the Hornets if we do acquire Ben Simmons. Just the dynamic duo, the defense just from day one gets increased. And that's why I kind of want to make this video, because you don't see, or it's usually just been the Sacramento Kings, the Nets, and that's about it for Ben Simmons. And obviously I would think a De'Aaron Fox and a first might be a better fit for the 76ers than a Gordon Hayward would be. But yeah, it'll be interesting what goes down, what doesn't go down. And yeah, I'll see you guys later.